Good morning, children. Let's continue with the lesson Economy and Occupations. Now, in the previous session, we had studied about the economies of India as well as Brazil and found the contribution of these two countries towards GDP. We had also studied about the concentration of the population with these activities. That is, we found that a major population of India was concentrated in the primary activities, and hence we can call the Indian economy as an agrarian economy. On the other hand, we find a major population of Brazil is concentrated more in the service sector, in other words, a tertiary occupation. Okay, so we'll continue with that here. Now, according to the year, that is 2016, we find the national income of India was higher than that of Brazil. But when you compare it with the developed economy, that is of USA, we find the national income of the USA is $1,800 million. Okay, that is the national income of USA is far higher than that of the developing nations like India and Brazil. Now, in India, we find a major percentage of the population is concentrated on agriculture as well as allied activities. That is the primary sector. Okay, but we find as in the recent years, we find the proportion of people in the secondary as well as tertiary sector is also increasing. Now, Brazil is one of the world's giants when it comes to mining, agriculture, as well as manufacturing. In Brazil, also, we find the service sector is very strong and also it is growing rapidly. Now, let us come to the similarities between the Indian as well as Brazilian economies. Now, both the Indian as well as Brazilian economies have a mixed economy, and both these countries are developing economies. Okay, now when we compare the per capita income of India and Brazil with that of the developing countries like the USA, we find it is very less. Okay, now though we find these two countries are making a lot of progress in the field of technology, education, and industry, the per capita income is still very low. Okay, now next is, though we find the national income of India is higher than that of Brazil, we find the per capita of income is of India is still very low. Now, the reason why the per capita income of India is low is because of its large population. Okay, so when you compare the population of India with that of Brazil, we find the population is very high. Okay, and also because of the large size of the country, we find the per capita income of India is low. Now, next is the USA. Now, the USA is a developed economy, and you find the population is comparatively low when you compare it with that of India, as well as the population is also very well educated. And the country also has the strength of many patents. Okay, then depends upon modern technology. Okay, and also mechanical strength. So you find very low percentage of the population in the USA is dependent upon the primary sector. Okay, there are more number of people in the tertiary as well as the quaternary occupation. So we find when you compare the national per capita income of Brazil and India with that of the developed economies of the world like the USA, it is far ahead. The USA's national per capita income is higher than that of the developing economies of Brazil and India. Now let's come to the map here. This map shows you the major primary activities. Now what are primary activities? Now activities which are directly connected with nature. Okay, for example, we have agriculture, mining, okay, fisheries, collection of forest products. Okay, so all these are primary activities. Okay, now under agriculture, the crops grown in Brazil are coffee, rice, corn. Corn is also called maize. Then we have sugarcane, then cocoa, rubber, banana, orange, and soya bean. Okay, now then the minerals which are mined here in Brazil are manganese, bauxite, iron ore, coal. Now, bauxite is an ore of aluminium. Then, the next primary activity is animal husbandry. Now, animal husbandry is the rearing of animals like, cow, sheep, goats, okay, then pigs, etc., for their milk, meat, as well as hides. The next primary activity is fisheries. Fisheries are, concentrated more along the southeastern part of Brazil. Okay. Here is a region where you have the warm and cold ocean currents. So warm and cold ocean currents are excellent breeding grounds for fishes. Okay. Now, based on this map, we will have certain questions. Okay. Let's answer that. Now, the first one is, in which part of Brazil is sugarcane mainly produced? Okay. Now, see the index here. This is sugarcane. This is a symbol for sugarcane. So, find it. Okay. So, you have it here. So, this is sugarcane here. Okay. Then, so you'll find it mostly in the central part of Brazil as well as the northeastern, okay, part of Brazil. Okay, so in which part of Brazil is sugarcane mainly produced? Sugarcane is mainly produced in the central and the eastern parts of Brazil. Second, in which regions of Brazil are cocoa plantations concentrated? Okay, so this is a symbol for cocoa. So cocoa, you have it here. Okay, can you see? This is cocoa. So again, along the eastern part. Okay, so northern and eastern part. Okay. Now, we have cocoa plantations along the eastern and the southern part of Brazil. Which regions of Brazil produce bananas? So look for the symbol of banana. Okay. So we have bananas here. Okay. So again, along the eastern part. So which regions of Brazil produce bananas? We have the eastern as well as northeastern part of Brazil. Now, one reason why you have so many, crops which are grown along the eastern part is because this region has fertile soil and also because it gets plenty of rainfall. Okay, this is one of the main reasons for the concentration of food crops along this region. Fourth one, where is animal husbandry practiced in Brazil? Okay, so animal husbandry, there's a symbol for that. Okay, so you have it here. This is, okay, so just think we don't have it here along the northern part. Okay, then here. Okay, so southern, then you have central part here. Okay, then southeastern part, south. Okay, eastern, southeastern part, then your central part. Okay, so where is animal husbandry practiced in Brazil? Okay, so animal husbandry is practiced in the southern as well as southwestern part of Brazil. We should also remember that animal husbandry is usually practiced in regions where the amount of rainfall is less. Okay, so in the southern region, we have the pampas. Okay, pampas regions are grasslands. Okay, so this is a region which gets comparatively low rainfall. Fifth one. In which part of Brazil is bauxite mined? Okay, so this is the symbol for bauxite. Okay, so you have bauxite here. Okay, can you see? Then we have it in the northern part. Okay, northeastern. Then we have the northern part also. Okay, Marajo. Okay, can you see? In which part of Brazil is bauxite mined? In the north, the northeastern, as well as southeastern parts or regions of Brazil. Where do you find coal in Brazil? Okay, so coal, okay, you can find the symbol of coal, okay, you have it in the southern part, okay, eastern. So, where do you find coal in Brazil? Coal is found in the southern part of Brazil. Which food crops are mainly grown in Brazil? Okay, so come to food crops. We have rice, corn, and then we have soya bean. Okay, uh, these are the principal crops grown in Brazil. Okay, coffee, then sugarcane, cocoa, rubber, etc. cash crops. Okay, rice, corn, soybean, etc. are food crops. Okay, so which food crops are grown mainly in Brazil? Rice, maize, and soybean. Okay, so children, here we have done with the primary activity of Brazil. We'll continue with mining, animal husbandry, and fisheries in the next session. Okay, till then, thank you.